This month, our You're Not Alone series focuses on children's mental health. And tonight, we want to tell you about a possible change for high school athletes. Next year, the physical exam required to participate will likely include questions about their mental health. The Michigan High School Athletic Association is considering the move to identify kids who need help and make sure they get it.
I'm Dr. Goldstein. So sports physical today, right?
Yep. Student athletes are not immune from anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts.
And then any concerns about your mood? Too sad or too anxious?
Just ask Dr. Zach Goldstein, who performs the sports physicals kids need to play high school sports.
I was always surprised that, out of the 40 questions that we have on the sports physical form that, is put up by the MHSAA, there's not one about, mental health.
Dr. Goldstein took his concern to the Michigan High School Athletic Association. As the parent of a student athlete who took his own life, the doctor knows a child that looks healthy on the outside may not be healthy on the inside. He wants the sports physical to include a couple of questions about mental health.
It just has to be something simple to get the kid talking about mental health. So, any concerns about, hurting yourself or others, any concerns about, nervousness, anxiety.
Mark Ewell is the executive director of the MHSAA, which governs high school sports. He says mental health was becoming a priority before the pandemic, and it's now front and center. All high school coaches are now required to get preseason training about mental health.
And it's not so much we want coaches to step in and try and fix the problem, but it's all about who do you refer that young person to.
The other part of the equation is this form. The parent fills out the medical history. A doctor performs a physical examination and gives the student clearance to play. The MHSAA evaluates this form every 3 years with a committee of experts. After the pandemic, they added an expert in mental health.
We're not just going to talk about sudden cardiac issues, or we're not just going to talk about concussion issues. That part of every single meeting of that group, there's now mental health issues that are woven into almost everything that gets discussed.
The group considers changes to the form every 3 years, and that time has come.
We kind of figured out what the post-COVID world looks like and what do our kids need. And the key word coming out of COVID was we felt like kids were dealing with more anxiety than ever. And so we said, well, we need to bring an expert here to the table that can be part of these conversations.
Conversations Dr. Goldstein is already having with student athletes when he provides a sports physical. Conversations that can reveal what's going on inside the child that can lead to a mental health crisis. Conversations that can save lives.
I've noticed that by adding those questions in, when I do a sports physical, I do identify a population of student athletes that have fallen outside of detection. So getting them to talk about it and to identify it can be a really important thing.
That's awesome.
Dr. Goldstein says a lot of parents are surprised when they learn their child is struggling with their mental health. These conversations revealing a vulnerability inside that tough exterior of the student athlete. The MHSAA will likely add mental health questions to the new sports physical form in the coming months. Turning our attention now to the weather, we are seeing some peaks of sunshine in parts of mid-Michigan. Andy Provenzanos in the